have a padding widget here. What padding do? What is padding widget? You use padding widget if I want to put spaces all around a widget. I can put the widget in a padding widget. What padding widget do? Padding widget put spaces around of the widget, around of the object. This means that if I want to put any side of this text button object, I can use padding widget. After if you pay attention, after I wrap this text button widget with padding, now my text button widget is child of padding, and this means that all of actions in padding affects text button widget because text button is child of padding. So if I after I write padding widget, this padding parameter comes to me automatically. Sometimes this doesn't come automatically. If it doesn't comes automatically, we can use it. We can write key and a. After that, padding parameter comes to me automatically, but it says that you have to use edge insets geometry. This is another variable type. So I am choosing it while with pressing enter, and after that I have to write E and D. After that I have to use edge insets, this one, second one, and double click, but we have to add something else here. After that edge insets comes to me. I am putting here a point, and the options that I can write comes to me automatically. If I choose all of spaces, it puts for example, I have to write here a number, something like spans 20. If I write insets dot all 20, this means that padding put spaces all around the widget, 20 spaces. So let's have a look. And yes, now we have a 20 spaces at the top. As you can see, we have a 20, but we can't see here. We have 20 spaces at the left, we have 20 spaces at the right, and we have 20 spaces also at the bottom. But if I use, maybe I have to show it to you in another widget. In this widget, in text button, we can't see very well. So I am adding here another button in elevated button. Elevated button is another simple button. So let's write child and write same things here. As this is my elevated button, I am writing here elevated button, and I have to add compress parameter, just like the previous ones. I am hot reloading again, and this is my elevated button. You can see this is these objects, these buttons separated a little bit, as I have used here padding edge insets all with 20. We have a 20 sized we have a 20 spaces in vertical. So these are separated. Let's double click on elevated button. After that, right click, and after that, show context actions, and let's choose wrap with padding. And my padding widget comes to me automatically as the parent of elevated button. Now elevated button is child of padding. Now I am putting here 20. This means that we have padding will put all around the this elevated button 20 spaces. Let's hot reload again, and you can see uh, 20 20 spaces here, and 50 spaces here, and 50 spaces at the left side, and 50 spaces at the right side, and 50 spaces at the bottom. Now if I write here only, if I choose only instead of all, this means that we can write different spaces at the different sides. For example, I can write here 10 spaces at the left, for example. I can write 20 spaces at the right, at the top, sorry. I can write 100 spaces at the right of the elevated button, and I don't have to uh, fill all of the sides. For example, just like this, I if I want to put spaces just left, top, and right, if I don't want any spaces at the bottom, this is okay. We don't have to write here bottom 2.0, just like this bottom. We don't have to write here 0. We can do, but we don't need to. So just hot reload again, see what happened. And yes, you can see we have a hundred, we have 100 spaces here, but we have 10 spaces here. We have uh, 20, we have 20 spaces here, and we don't have any spaces at the bottom. If I copy and paste here this center widget, you can see that we don't have any spaces here because we don't define any space at the bottom of elevated button. So I want to delete this one. So padding widget is okay. Padding widget is enough. Also, I can wrap all of this body with padding widget. So if I want all of these objects, all of this body, if I want spaces, all of this body, if I want spaces, so I have to wrap. I can wrap this list view widget with padding. So double click list view widget and right click and show context actions and just wrap with padding and just write here 50, for example, and press lightning, and you can see that we have another 50 spaces. We have another 50 spaces here, and as these objects at the center, these we our spaces doesn't available. We can see doesn't visible here. So we don't need that. After that, if I don't want a wrap, if I don't a parent widget for this one, I can take my work back. I can take back what have I done. So just like adding a parent widget here, I can take back. So if I want to take back, double click and right click again and show context actions and remove this widget. We can remove, if we want to remove a widget, we can take back just like adding. Double click, right click, show context actions, and remove this widget. Now we take back, uh, we have just taken back our padding widget. Just, let's hot reload, and you can see that our spaces here at the top and our all spaces has gone.